A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Dr. Gurminder Kaur, on behalf of the Pondicherry University, welcome all of you on this occasion of the 76th year of independence of our country. And thank you so much for taking so much interest in this special lecture. So first of all, I would request our Honorable VC Sir to please join us the dais. Along with him, I would request Director Studies, Director Culture and Cultural Affairs also to join. I also request Captain Aparna Rai to join the dignitaries on the dais, please. As the Nobel Prize winner Rabindranath Tagore rightly stated, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So in the spirit of desire to seek freedom and in the spirit of understanding the value of freedom, we are all here today celebrating this momentous occasion of 75 years of India's independence. The Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is an initiative by the Government of India to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of independence and the glorious history of its people, culture and achievements. Keeping up with the spirit of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Pondicherry University has been zestfully conducting numerous activities not only in its Puducherry campus but also in all of the 5 satellite campuses along with various affiliated colleges. Ranging from symposia to faculty development programs, different schools of the university have been on the front foot. Marking the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the PU celebrated Har Ghar Tiranga with fervor and endearment. A total of 1,000 flags were distributed by the university to its staff members across all the locations. On 13th August, our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji, hoisted the national flag at the terrace of the administrative block of Pondicherry University as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Har Ghar Tiranga celebrations. Sir also hoisted the national flag at his residence that morning. It was followed by hoisting of the national flag atop 14 buildings in the university campus on flagpole height 10 feet above the building terrace level that included various departments and hostels. Also, the national flag was hoisted at 4 locations on flagpole height 20 feet above the ground level. The staffs and students of the PU were also motivated by the Office of the Dean, Students' Welfare, to be a part of the digital pinning of national flag on harghartiranga.com. On 14th August, our esteemed Vice Chancellor inaugurated the very special photo exhibition on Partition Horrors Remembrance Day at the Pondicherry University. Widespread celebrations from 12th to 15th of August have been carried out in various schools and departments to mark this momentous occasion. To share a few with the audience, numerous activities like quiz, elocution, vegetable dressing, group singing of patriotic songs, poetry, stage show by the students of performing arts, walkathon, marathon, tree plantation drive, slogan writing. These are just a few which have been carried out by all of our departments, not only located on the campus, but also in the satellite campuses. The celebrations today have been marked by the Independence Day run Har Ghar Tiranga 2022 that was inaugurated by our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Major General Vikram Kumar, Deputy Commandant and Chief Instructor of Officers Training Academy, Chennai. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a brief report of the programs that have been conducted, keeping up the spirit of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Now, I request our Vice Chancellor, Sir, to release a book titled Business Management, authored by one of our faculty members, Dr. Ajita Rendran from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Specifically, she belongs to the remote island of Mayabindur. This endeavor of our esteemed VC is a pure sign of motivation to the islanders, whether they are students or teachers, to stay connected with the mainstream of the education system. The released copy of the same will be released by Shri Rajkumarji, who is the Nodal Officer for Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Please join your hands together. This is a great achievement coming from a faculty member located at such a faraway distance.
One of the worst things that one does for such a function is such a beautifully packed stuff is ruthlessly unpacked. I don't know why this tradition.
Please show the. Thank you so much, sir. I now request once again our esteemed Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate the guest speaker for the day, Captain Aparna Rai, who is the platoon commander in the Officers Training Academy at Chennai. I now invite Captain Aparna Rai to deliver the special address for today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please. Yes, sir.
Well, friends, you must be wondering that how is it that we have organized this function on such an important day, and that too we have invited a very young officer. Invariably, you would have heard about on such occasions very senior officers giving talks. Last time we had our Commandant of the Defence Services Staff College here, Lieutenant General, and many others have come in. We signed one MOU with Air Force where Air Vice Marshal came to do this. You must be wondering why a young officer here, and that is one of the reasons I thought I will be personally attending this to encourage all of you that in Defence Forces there is no question of senior or junior. Once you are an officer, you are an officer. Same kind of a regard is given to irrespective of what you are. You go to any boardroom, any mess, anywhere, whether you are a lieutenant or a major or major general or lieutenant general, same regard is given. And let me also tell you, when we talk to our JCOs, they are given the same kind of respect which is expected to a senior officer. Many of you may not be knowing, I am giving this for the knowledge of our civilian friends here, that a Subedar Major who commands all the JCOs is always addressed as Saab. You know, Vikram Saab or whatever the name is, we address him very respectfully. And in Navy, Master Chief Petty Officer, first class, is virtually equivalent to a captain. He commands the same kind of an authority that a captain does to an officer. So this is the unity of our defense forces. This is the strength. And many of you would not have known that the kind of camaraderie that we have in defense, the kind of respect we have for one another, it is unparalleled. When an officer goes on an annual leave and another officer comes in, and if you find that there is no accommodation, one gladly leaves the key of the house that here is one, enjoy your next 60 days here. Without bothering about that he has his valuables, he has his fridge loaded with fruit and butter and whatever. He'll just say, here is it, this is your house, stay there. Such a thing, such a kind of friendship, such a kind of respect, such a kind of one-manship you will not find in any other service other than this. We do see this in some other corporate sectors, but there you would have seen and you would have heard from others, they would always say, look, this house is yours, these two rooms you don't touch. This fridge is mine, don't open this is this is that. But here it is unconditional. Here is it, this is what you find in defense, and that is what is reflected when these people serve in our difficult areas on high altitude or on borders or wherever or in a war-like situation. They are the ones who fight as one unit. There is no question of which area one comes from, who is the commanding officer, who is the one who is fighting. They are one, and they look at that one unit as the one which is here to defend our nation. This is the spirit of our nation, and that's why we thought this is an important day, 75th year of our independence. Comes once in a lifetime, let me tell you. We are all very lucky that this day came during our lifetime. So we took this occasion, and our sports department, physical education department, organized a wonderful marathon in the morning at 7 o'clock, which was flagged off by Major General Vikram, and it was a very successful event, I was told. No better day would have been there than the one we decided to hold this on, and many other activities that our university had undertaken in very many departments, which you have heard from the report that has been read, would enthrall you by knowing that such an activity had been organized in Pondicherry University. This is the strength of our nation, let me tell you. We all celebrate as one unit, and that's what we thought we will present it to you. Now, I decided to release this book. Invariably, one would do it on a day when there is some academic activity. We were planning to do it immediately after the flag hoisting, but then we deferred it to this, because this is related to more or less an academic activity. We are going to have a lecture being given by a young officer of the Indian Army, and this book is on business management. Why I decided to do this is that this is authored by a faculty member of ours who works in an island, one of the islands. And I am of the opinion, ever since I have come into academics, that all islanders should be encouraged to the best of our ability. You will not know the kind of difficulties an islander faces and what we do here. Invariably, they will not have connectivity. Invariably, things will reach very late. And if some of the senior ones will know, whenever we will have any exam like NDA or IMA or civil services, we will give the last date for application is this, but for islanders, we used to extend it by 15 days. That used to be the reason. Now we have put a cable under sea. The connectivity has improved many folds, so they will be now not at a disadvantage anymore. But the fact of the matter is that they do work under very difficult circumstances. Some natural calamities are the ones which they are hit with. So we have to appreciate all these. And I did have the occasion of meeting one of our persons from Great Nicobar who completed doctorate in English department, and I celebrated that event in our university, that this is a great achievement. Similarly, this is a book which is authored by Dr. Ajita Narendran. She is from a college which is in a place called Mayabandar. If you go to Port Blair, Going to Port Blair is not that difficult, but from there to travel to Maya Bandar is a heroic task, let me tell you. 10 hours of drive by road, passing through tribal areas. At times you have to take police escort with you. So all these difficult situations, and you have to cross at 3 points by ferry. There is no direct road link. So all these difficult situations you face to reach Maya Bandar. For a colleague of management department from that college to come up with this, I suppose it's a great achievement. So we thought we will reward her by releasing the book here on this great day. So I appreciate your presence here. And now coming down to the talk, which I said invariably one would have heard it from senior officers, but a young officer giving you a talk on this, I think would be a very enjoyable experience and thrilling experience for all of you. This is Indian Army, a profession with honor. I would extend it a little more. It is defense, a profession for everybody with honor, be it Air Force, Navy, or the sister concerns which are Coast Guard or BSF for that matter, or Indian Army, of course, which is the largest amongst these, is a great honor. Let me tell you, I have integrated few of these things. It is only when somebody serves there, one enjoys the kind of family-like traditions that you have there, and one never misses that you are away from your family. This is what others will never be able to make out unless one gets into the deep inside of how defense personnel families live. The way we invite them, I think I will be talking to some of the senior commanding officers, maybe Southern Commander-in-Chief, whosoever is there, to look for an occasion when some of our civilian academic officers can also be invited to your institute to see how things are. I have been fortunate enough to see all this, but then I would appreciate that. So this two-way traffic we will start. Now I'll, of course, you're all keenly waiting to listen to one of our young officers. I'll invite her and listen to this talk with absolute attention. I have the Major General Vikram coming in. Maybe one of the reasons I was here was to wait for him. We were together there with LG, and you're welcome here. I thought I'll give a brief introduction while you make your entry here. So we welcome you and your better half, Mrs. Major General is also around. Please. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate your presence here. So I was saying, please listen to this talk with all sincerity, and you will realize that this is one profession. Probably, had you joined, you would have been much better off. Life would have been better. But then that's the way it. Whatever comes your way, you should always enjoy. And I have always been telling repeatedly to everybody, whatever profession one is in, one starts enjoying one's work when you enjoy your profession. You enjoy your work when you start enjoying your profession. As long as you take it as a burden, you will never do very well. So for doing well, you should be enjoying your profession. And how defense is, probably she'll throw more light on this. And I would express finally my thanks for all of you. And I'll get back after the talk if there are some questions or any interactions pertaining to this particular one. In the morning, there was a slight delay in the program because there were certain other things which came in, and we had to rush through few things. And same thing, I thought, when we go to LG, normally the programs are absolutely as per atomic accuracy, but we went there, it was awfully crowded, let me tell you, and the LG was late by about 40 minutes. So we were all desperate, and I was more worried because I wanted to start this. And the moment LG came, I barged my way in and immediately greeted her and rushed back. So that's the way it is. Sometimes when one train gets late, it keeps on getting late further. So this is one of those things. I thought I'll explain that as well. Thank you very much. And I now take the pleasure of inviting this young lady officer, Captain. on the spot.
Sorry for barging in, but I would very respectfully request Major General Vikram Kumarji to please join the dignitaries on the dais, please. I would request our esteemed VC sir to now facilitate Major General Vikram Kumar, please. Thank you so much, sir. Now I once again invite Captain Aparna Rai to share her views with us on the topic. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Captain Aparna Rai, and I'm an instructor at the Officers Training Academy, Chennai. On behalf of Lieutenant General Sanjeev Chauhan, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, Youth Seva Medal, I wish you all a very happy Independence Day. As part of the celebrations of 75 years of independence, we, the officers, instructional staff, and cadets of the Officers Training Academy cycled 175 kilometers from Chennai to Pondicherry on 14th of August. The expedition concluded at the gates of this prestigious university. We'd like to take this opportunity today to familiarize the audience with the ways of the Indian Army and the various methods through which you can enter the Indian Army. We'll particularly focus upon the Officers Training Academy, Chennai, from where we belong. To begin with, I have a short video that introduces you to the ways of the Indian Army, what life in Indian Army looks like. The Indian Army has time and again The Indian Army has time and again lived up to its tradition of valor, heroism, sacrifice, and fortitude. It stands vigil along the border, watchful, prepared for sacrifice so that the people of the country may live in peace and with honor. The Indian Army is that and much more. Ours is a unique organization where we get opportunities to pursue adventurous activities as part of the job. Every year, the Army Adventure Wing organizes several adventure activities to include mountaineering, trekking, car and bike rallies, skydiving, scuba diving, and much more. On the viewfoil, you can see a few glimpses of the same. The organization provides its officers opportunities to grow both professionally and personally. Apart from being deployed in the most exotic locations within the country, we also participate in United Nations missions abroad. We participate in national events and also conduct joint training exercises with other countries, including Russia and the United States. Some of these exercises also take place abroad. Apart from the main responsibility of defending the borders, we also assist the civil authorities whenever called upon to do so. As part of aid to civil authorities, we have time and again carried out massive rescue and relief operations, not just within the country, but also in the neighboring nations. Having introduced you to the various aspects of the Indian Army and to the life in Indian Army, I'd like to familiarize you with the various entries through which you can get into the Army as an officer. On the viewfoil, you can see the various schemes or entry schemes. Some of this might not pertain to you, since I believe most of you would be graduates or undergraduates, but the others are, and you may spread awareness about the same. The first is the NDA entry, which is for those who have just passed their intermediate. The age limit for the same is 16 to 19 years, and there is an NDA examination that is held, and after qualifying that examination, everybody, those who have qualified appear for SSB interview. After their SSB interview, once they get selected or get recommended, they join the National Defense Academy. After 3 years of training in National Defense Academy, they go and train in Indian Military Academy. The second entry is the technical entry scheme, again for 10+2. This is one of the schemes which are lesser known schemes. This is again for the students who have passed their class 12th, between 16 to 19 years of age. They only have SSB interview, and they, after 1 year basic military training at OTA Gaya, they move to different CTWs. The third is the technical graduate course. Those who have done their engineering degree or PG in notified discipline, they are eligible to appear for this entry. Their age limit is 20 to 27 years of age, and they again have to appear for an SSB interview only. Their training takes place at Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. The university entry scheme for pre-final and final year students of engineering degree course. The age limit for pre-final year is 18 to 24 years, and for those in the final year, it is 90 to 25 years. There is a campus interview conducted by the authorities, and thereafter the selected candidates go for SSB interview. The direct entry or the Indian Military Academy non-tech entry is for graduates who have to appear for a combined defense services examination that is conducted by UPSC. Thereafter, the selected candidates have to appear for SSB. Those selected through this entry train at the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. After this comes the Short Service Commission. All the cadets, those who are present here, as well as those who are trained from the Officers Training Academy, are Short Service Commission officers. We have a service of 10+4 years. After the end of 10th year, we have a board, and some of us get the opportunity to continue the service beyond 14 years based on the record of our service. The Officers Training Academy, Chennai is a unique institution, the only training academy that trains both men and women to become officers of the Indian Army. The Short Service Commission that is for 10 plus 4 years. All the officers entering through various entries of Short Service Commission are trained at the OTA. The detail of these entries would be coming up further down in the presentation. With a short video, I'd like to show you the way of life inside the Officers Training Academy, how a cadet trains inside the Officers Training Academy.
Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. I, Junior Under Officer Shivani Singh.
And I, Gentleman Cadet Sumit Singh Yadav.
We are here today to present before you our training experience that we undergo in our Academy. In the wake of Chinese aggression in October 1962, a national emergency was declared and two officers' training schools were established, one at Madras and another one at Pune in January 1963, to commission emergency commissioned officers to the Indian Army. The school at Pune was closed down on 9th May 1964, while the one at Madras continued to function, which soon became the Officers Training Academy, Chennai. These pictures take us down the memory lane showcasing the passing out parade at Officers Training School, Madras. On the view foil, on the right hand side, you can see the picture of the first batch of women trainees who were commissioned as Indian Army officers from the Officers Training Academy, Chennai in 1992. In 1992, Officers Training Academy, Chennai became the first and only pre-commissioning training academy to train and commission women officers in the Indian Army. Since then, a total of 2,719 women officers out of 29,956 Indian Army officers have been commissioned to serve the nation. The Academy also offers to train cadets from friendly foreign countries like Bhutan, Afghanistan, Maldives, Nigeria as a part of Indian Technical and Educational Cooperational Program.
The Academy follows a two-term model. The academy follows a two-term model comprising of 49 weeks, where the junior term is of 23 weeks, followed by a midterm break of 3 weeks, then the senior and the final term of again 23 weeks. Officers Training Academy Chennai is affiliated to Hindustan and Madras University, which provides the passing out officers with postgraduate diploma in defense management and strategic studies. The training encompasses various physical tests as well as basic military tests. On the screen, you can see a few of the many tests that we have to pass in order to graduate to senior term as well as in order to pass out from the Officers Training Academy. The academy not only focuses on the PT test but to build the leadership and sportsman qualities of a young cadet. There are 6 companies in Officers Training Academy Chennai, and they compete among each other for the coveted Chief of Army Staff banner. The various sports events held in the academy are cross country, volleyball, basketball, football, boxing, and judo, etc.
The Officers Training Academy. The Officers Training Academy is equipped with world-class infrastructure like the drill square, which stands wide to inculcate discipline in the cadets, the indoor shooting range, we have a 500 meters outdoor shooting range, Olympic-sized swimming pool, and the equitation course. We also have lecture halls with modern learning and teaching equipment, fully furnished Radhakrishnan library, and much more.
Officers Training Academy Chennai strives to produce well-read and tech-savvy officers. To cater to this, the officer cadets are provided with personal computers and various IT facilities.
We have the Acharya Training Area, which has lengths of running tracks, PT infrastructure, enabling the cadets to work on their strength and stamina.
In the academy, it is ensured that the cadets meet their daily calorific requirements, and these are catered to in the Yoda Cadet Mess. It's an elegant building adjudged the best in architect and construction design by Chennai Chief Engineer Zone in 2006.
The officer cadets are housed in 6 blocks of modern accommodation, each occupied by one of the 6 companies in the academy. Each block is equipped with an anteroom and a mini gym. All officer cadets are allotted independent rooms with washrooms shared between 2. The rooms are connected over a LAN.
This is the glimpse of the cadets. These rooms are fully furnished and are kept in top-notch condition by the cadets.
In August 2008, the training duration of lady cadets were upgraded and brought at par with the gentlemen cadets, with the introduction of the Short Service Commission Women course. Now that the women officers can also opt for permanent commission in the Indian Army, the training program has been further refined to bring more integration between the officers of both the genders. We train together, undergo same physical exercises, compete as a team against other companies, live for our course mates, and learn from our counterparts.
Started this inducting women into the army about early 90s. Earlier there were little apprehensions whether they would be able to cope with the workload and the demands of service life. But let me say with a lot of pride that they have risen to the occasion.
This short video was taken from the movie Women of Honor, which was shot by the National Geographic Channel. This methodology of training together revolves around the basic idea of team spirit and healthy competition. Although we live separately, but we spend rest of the time with our gentlemen cadets undergoing the same level of training. The integrated training has had an immense positive impact in building women officers in the Indian Army. Now, it has been observed that it has brought an improvement in overall physical fitness. Moreover, we have improved psychological conditioning as we young women officers will be going to units which at times will not be having even another women officer in the same unit. Thus, there is a need to bring normalization in working together irrespective of the gender. The women cadets in the academy have proved time and again that they are no longer to walk behind. In fact, they are ready to lead and lead by example. In the viewfoil, in the center is Lieutenant Colonel Madhumita. She was the first recipient of Sena Medal for her gallantry action, and she was awarded this in 2011. Lieutenant Colonel Madhumita showed exemplary courage during the attack on Indian embassy by terrorists in Kabul, Afghanistan on 26 February 2010. Other images showcase women cadets winning the prestigious Sword of Honor in the academy.
The Indian Army offers the youth of this country to live a life less ordinary. In the academy, where famous quotes like "Ye dil mange more" become a part of your daily routine in the academy. The academy stands to fulfill the objective to build professionally competent and morally upright officers who are commissioned into Indian Army are committed to core values of duty, honor, and selfless service to the nation. These are the various type of entries to get into OTA. The first, short service commission for men and women non-tech. The eligibility criteria is in the age limit from 19 to 25 years, and the person should have a degree from a recognized university. Then second entry is tech entry. Short service commission into the Indian Army through Officers Training Academy. The person should have done a technical degree from any recognized university, and the age limit is 20 to 27 years. And then who are NCC cadets and have a C certificate with minimum of Bravo grading can apply for the NCC special entry, which a notification released on the Indian Army portal 2 times a year.
Apart from these entries, there is also Veer Nari entry scheme, which is specially for the women whose husbands laid off their lives serving the nation in the Indian Army. These women have to be at the maximum age limit of 35 years, and educational qualification pertains to having a BE, BTech or any graduate degree. After that, they directly have to appear for the SSB interview, post which they are called for training in the Officers Training Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, now allow us to present before you a bird's eye view of our academy. Sprawled in an area of 637.65 acres, the academy is bifurcated by the river Adyar. It is adjoined by the Chennai airport and is hardly 15 kilometers away from the railway station. Standing behind the tricolor is our Officers Training Academy's headquarters, the Rizangla. Left to it is the Parmeshwaran Drill Square ground, and on the right is the general accommodation area. This is the Yodha Cadets Mess, which can accommodate up to 800 officer cadets at once. Behind this is the general accommodation area. The 6 companies reside there. This is the river Adyar, and the bridge leads to Acharya training area.
The Acharya training area is named after Major Padmapani Acharya, who was awarded the Mahavir Chakra posthumously for his heroic and gallant actions in the 1999 Kargil War. The ATA encompasses various PT training facilities, sports fields, and tactical training area for military knowledge. As you can see on the view file, this is a bird's eye view of the ATA.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there's some trouble with the video. We are finished with our presentation. Should there be any queries regarding entries into the Indian Army, be it Short Service Commission or through other entries, a panel of officers would be answering the same.
Thanks. Well done. Firstly, my compliments to Captain Aparna and her team for a wonderful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, especially the students sitting here, firstly, our heartiest gratitude to all of you for hosting us here at the Pondicherry University, and our compliments to you, to the Vice Chancellor, and to you all in the manner in which you celebrated the culmination of the 75th year of independence. And gives us great pleasure to be amongst you all to share with you our experiences of what Indian Army is all about. Before we answer the question, let me tell you that Indian Army is not just a profession, it's a way of life. I have been 35 years in service, but I donned the uniform at the age of 16 and a half when I joined the National Defence Academy. And I'm a second generation army officer, so I know no other life other than the life in the uniform. And let me tell you that I feel much fortunate for having had that last 54 years of this life in uniform, especially as an officer of the Indian Army, because it offers you so much more than purely professional satisfaction. I always say that there are three aspects to any complete human being and a good national citizen, and that stands all the more specifically true for a soldier in the Indian Army. Those four aspects are, I would say, tez dimag, that's mental mobility; tandurust sharir, that's a physical fitness; uch prashikshan, that means well trained, and a sense of discipline. Because I always believe that a person who has a high sense of discipline is a person who has high self-respect. And if we are a group of self-respecting citizens of India, then nobody can hold our country back. So these are the four aspects of any individual's basic makeup of character, that is mental mobility, physical fitness, a high sense of professional competence in whatever profession he or she may be in, whether army soldier or a doctor or an engineer or an architect, whatever. So high standard of professional fitness, and last and not the least is a sense of self-discipline. So this is the Indian Army which inculcates each and every aspect of this into your way of life. And what could be a better profession to serve in, wherein the army pays you to be physically fit, it pays you to live an adventurous life. Most of us sitting here wouldn't have seen the north, east, south and west of the country, and all of us who are my service and around, and these cadets, officer cadets who are here in their service time, they will probably go the length and breadth of this country and serve, committed to the core military values of duty, honor and selfless service to the nation, and yet irrespective of as inhospitable and as torturous a terrain and the condition of operation that they are serving in, they'll serve it with a smile on their face. So very often when I interact with my civilian counterparts, or whenever I take them through my album of my stay in various places, they say, you guys are having a ball. You're sitting in the deserts and you're enjoying. You're sitting in the jungles of Arunachal Pradesh and you're enjoying. You're sitting at a high altitude of 18,000 feet and enjoying yourself. I said, that's what makes the Indian Army life less ordinary. We do our duty. We do our duty even to the extent of giving our ultimate sacrifice, and we enjoy our work as we live up to the expectations of a country which has invested time, money, emotions in us. So that is our commitment to the nation, that whatever the nation has committed in terms of resources, in terms of emotions, in terms of faith and trust, it is our duty to pay back in full and if not more. So with that, I'll invite my panel of officers onto the stage, and any questions that you all may have, whether related to the life in the Indian Army or the ways of getting into the Indian Army, or specifically about the Officer Training Academy, we'll attempt to answer. Anyone, any questions? Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Chinmay Roy, MA South Asian Studies student, second year. Sir, my question related to officers that, as you know very well, that recent COVID happened, and COVID actually stopped our economic and social activities for 2 years. So, what happened that due to COVID, mental health affects a lot, and work balance is also disturbed, and sleeping patterns also disturbed. So, as an Indian Army officer, how you cope up with pressure, depression, stress, and all these things?
Well, in the Indian Army, we have this dictum of all for one and one for all. While very seldom we get to stay with our families, it is that 2 months of leave or 1 month or some bit of casual leave that we go and spend the time with our family. Otherwise, our family are our compatriots. We have a system of buddies or char yaar concept where we have everybody knows everything about the other guy. And as officers who are sitting here, we live by something called the Chetwood motto. The Chetwood motto says that the safety, honor, welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The safety, honor and welfare of the men you command comes next. And your own safety and honor comes last, always and every time. So that is the dictum that we Indian Army officers or any military leader, whether officer or a junior commissioned officer, this is the dictum we live by. And COVID times have been challenging, but the fact is that while rest of the country may have undergone a lockdown, educational institutions may be functioning online, the corporates have been functioning online, but Indian Army's job is there on ground. If the LC has to be manned, the LC has to be manned physically 24/7 by a person sitting there. If the LAC has to be patrolled, it has to be patrolled. If counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations have to be undertaken, there's no way we can do it by sitting in a company operating basis. So that's how we have operated, and we have operated through COVID. It's not that we've told the terrorists, okay, 2 years, please lockdown, no activity by you, and hence no operations by us. We've continued doing our operations the way we always have been doing, and we are stronger for it. So, like I said, it's a family in itself, all for one and one for all, and that's how we deal with the pressures. And in fact, we believe that if there's no friction, there'll be no forward movement. Hence, that's what we thrive on. And the moment there's no pressure, we get kind of jittery that something big is going to happen. So we love that the pressure is there always, all the time.
One last question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, actually my age is 24 years old, and actually I have a huge passion to join defense forces.
Lovely.
So for like me, the boy who is doing PG, 24 years old, do we have any like system or procedure we can use? What is the procedure to?
So you are 24 years old, you are doing your graduation. The moment you finish your graduation, you can apply for this UPSC exam. And when you clear that UPSC exam, you are a non-technical. What is?
Sir, MA South
Yeah,
Studies.
yeah. So you are a non. The OTA entry that they showed you, that the, just put that slide on. That is the Short Service Commission non-tech. You can enter that. You can also. His age is okay for IMA also, no? Yes. So even the Indian Military Academy, after you give your UPSC exam, there will be a merit list drawn up. And based on the merit list, you will be either shortlisted to join the Indian Military Academy, wherein you will undergo 1.5 years training and you will get commissioned as a permanent commission officer, or you may get selected as a for training in Officer Training Academy, where you will get commission for 10 years. After 10 years, you will have an option of either opting for permanent commission, that is continuing in army right through life, or opting out and doing something others. Other than that, if you do not want to opt out and not want the permanent commission, you have an option of asking for a 4 years extension, because we've trained you and hence we want to give back to the organization as much as the organization has given you. So those are the options that are available to you. And this aspect of SSB interview, that is the Service Selection Board interview that Captain Aparna mentioned. The Service Selection Board, the job of the Service Selection Board is to see out of all the candidates who have cleared the UPSC exam, SSB selects those people who are psychologically fit to join the Indian Army. Physically, we can condition you in the time that is available to us. Your basically psychological makeup that is there, that that the SSB checks. So there are a series of psychological tests, that is Institute of Behavioral Sciences, etc. Those have been developed. Those tests have been developed. So you put through those tests, and once you clear you've cleared the written exam, you've cleared the Service Selection Board interview. Thereafter, you will be put through a very stringent medical test. You clear all this, make it in the merit list, and then you will join any of these academies. So at 24 years of age, you are eligible to join either the Indian Military Academy or the Officer Training Academy.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Yeah.
First of all, thank you, sir, for giving us the interaction to interact with you. And my name is Akash, and I'm doing my MSc from here only. So there is a big debate going around all over the country on Agni-Veer scheme. I don't want to touch the political side of it, okay? But I wanted to know how it's like. What's your take on this, and how it's going to affect the Indian Army? Like, we know we are discussing about the point of view from the students' perspective, but no one is talking from the perspective of Indian Army. So I just wanted to know what you think about this, or what are your views?
See, the Indian Army right now is understaffed. We have a deficiency of manpower, and everywhere in all organizations, the structure is pyramidal. You need maximum manpower at the junior level, and as you grow senior, when from you get into supervisory roles and things like that, the number of people required are lesser and lesser. And hence, by fast tracking this, firstly due to the effect of COVID, I mean last 2 years there has been no recruitment in the Indian Army, and that affects our overall strength. And like I said, the Agnipath scheme or the Agni-Veer scheme has two takeaways. It's not only a takeaway from the Indian Army, wherein we will get those manpower which will fill the void that is there at the base level, but a good citizen is a person who has those four qualities that I said: physical fitness, mental mobility, good training, and self-discipline. Even if Agni-Veer who joins and after 5 years decides to leave or does not make the cut to get the permanent commission, he'll be a much better citizen for the Indian Army than without the training of the Indian Army. So that's why I feel that it's a very all sides win kind of a option. There were initial reservations about this. I mean, basically it was The reservation, I believe, was from those quarters wherein the men wanted, the young lot wanted to join the Indian Army as a permanent profession and not just for the period of 5 years, but to allay their fears. If they are living up to the faith that has been reposed in them, there's no way that they'll not be selected to continue beyond 5 years. There will be certain challenges for us as far as the technical arms is concerned, because a person whom we train for 5 years and then he does not make the cut. But then if you would much rather have a person continuing to serve the full term of service, a person who's totally committed, and because the men, other than the officers, they go through this the psychological filtering. But the men, we do not have anything of that kind of psychological filtering. This 5 years will help us achieve that psychological filtering. So I believe that we will be much stronger for it. So any fears or any reservations, I think we can put it at rest.
Okay, and sir, one last question that you said I wanted to ask on that. Like, we know how much the Indian Army is in stress condition. Like, even if we talk about the pay scale or the workload of per person and the number of individuals we have. So, like, do you have any suggestions that we as a citizen can do or provide and can initiate a talk in between us?
The only thing that you as citizens can do is be a person worth dying for. Right? That's what I say. That when you see a person in the Indian Army uniform, even if you don't walk up to him and say thanks, at least in your heart say thanks for the job that he's doing. And like I said, be a person worth dying for. That's what you can do for the Indian Army. And you mentioned pay scales. Let me tell you, while you take up a job in the corporate, you work on something called CTC, cost to company. And when you look at a profession in the Indian Army, then you start looking at the person's pay. If you look at the CTC, that CTC itself is quite attractive, if I may say. Right? So if you are looking at Indian Army as a profession, other than those aspects, other than the way of life that it offers you, if you are looking at, I'm not saying that it's wrong or anything less to look at the material aspect of that. Even the material aspects, I feel it's quite a good profession.
Thank you, sir. The answers are so satisfying.
No budding lady officers amongst you all? Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Sukhdeep Kaur and I'm pursuing my master's degree in economics. So I don't have any questions related with the Indian Army, but I have one question in my mind, that why the women cadets vacancy is very less for Indian Army as compared to the male cadets vacancy.
Right now, we have the composition of the army has got combat arms who go into enemy territory and fight. There are combat support arms who provide the logistic support, etc. As of now, the world over, the induction of women have not yet commenced in the combat arms. We have the women officers as fighter pilots. That is a non-contact kind of a battle. We have the women officers manning the naval ships. But as of land warfare is concerned, in the arms that are largest, we have immense land borders, and all our land borders are as yet conflict prone, whether line of control against Pakistan or line of actual control against China. These borders are conflict prone, so we have 24/7 deployment. So we are in active operations 24/7 right through the year. And the largest complement of the Indian Army are those arms of the Indian Army which are manning those borders, that is infantry, artillery, armored corps, that is tanks, and mechanized infantry. Now these are the largest complements of these are the fighting arms which go into the enemy territory to teach the enemy a lesson. As of now, we do not have women entering the combat arms. They are doing a wonderful job in the combat support services, manning the technical, being the technical hub of the corps, the services like the engineers, the signals, the electrical and mechanical engineers, etc. The day the decision is taken to induct women into the combat arms, I guess that gap in the ratio, that will also get over. As of now, we have about 433 odd cadets undergoing training at the academy, so the ratios are not that bad. Out of this 433, we have 120 odd women officers, women cadets. So yeah, it's fairly there.
Yeah, actually, when I was a child, I aspired being to be commissioned in the combat forces. But when I grown, now I came to know that the women cadets are not allowed to go to the combat area. So it's a kind of feel a sadness, but yeah, I hope for the best that in future
Yeah.
maybe.
Let me tell you, I'm very proud of, I am the chief instructor of Officer Training Academy. I've been there since last 1.5 years, and I'm very proud of my women officer cadets. And you saw, once given an opportunity of being in a combat-like situation, that is in Kabul in Afghanistan, Lieutenant Colonel Madhumita Bish, now a colonel, has given a wonderful account of herself and has got herself a Sena Medal Gallantry. So these medals are not given, they are earned. So she's earned it. She's proven that the women are capable of participating in active combat. That is decision. Its time has not yet come. It will come, and I'm sure that our women officers will do us proud even there.
Thank you, sir.
So we'll answer.
I'll answer this question partially.
Sir.
Later.
Right. Right, so if there are no further questions, once again, I thank you all, especially the Vice Chancellor, sir, for giving us this opportunity, not only of interacting with you all, but also talking to you here. And we always conduct these exhibitions, etc., called Know Your Armies, wherein our civilian brethren are encouraged to come and see what we are all about, because too long we've been, in the earlier days, especially when I was a child, the cantonments were far away from the city, and it was always a system of us versus them. That invisible wall has to go down. The army is yours. It is of the people and for the people. So get to know your army, and like I said, it's a wonderful organization, and I consider myself fortunate to have been part of it. And any one of you who wants to be part of it, it will be you will consider ourselves fortunate in guiding you to get into that. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So vote of thanks. Thank you so much to all the dignitaries from the OTA who have joined us today for such an informative session to our students, and also clarifying the concerns that general public usually has with regard to schemes which they are not very well versed with. It was very nice and very informative. The PPTs and the videos were very attractive, and I'm sure they have left a very positive impact on the students. I'm so glad to be a part of this event today, myself being a product of the Army Institute of Law. This feels like homecoming of some sorts. Yes, sir. So may I request the dignitaries to please join us back on the dais, please? Thank you. Yes, yes. No, sir. We have one more book release scheduled for this event today. This book is titled Media Vimarsh, Kannada Media Special Issue, which is edited by the head of the Department of Hindi, Professor C. Jayashankar Babuji. I would request our dignitaries, our VC sir and Major General Vikram Kumar to kindly release the book. Thank you. Jai Shankar Babu. Sir.
I request Major General Vikram to do the honor.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
I now request our Honorable VC sir to share his opinion about the lecture, please.
Thank you. You must be wondering why am I coming again and again. I heard General Vikram talking about and answering many of your questions. One question I would like to partially answer, why the number of women folk is less in our defense forces, not army, in general in all the forces. One of the reasons is that, everything evolves from our society. Our society is evolving. It is gradually evolving and the number is slowly growing again. Did you think of women fighting in the participating in the wrestling events 20 years back? No. But the way people have come up in Haryana and every village is participating very actively, it is the process of that evolution. Gradually we are evolving. And when we got independence, let me tell you, it was Indian Constitution which gave voting right to everybody. One day we were all on the other side, and 16th August 47, we were all having our voting rights, everybody. And this step that we took in a day, America took 150 years to have that. England took 110 years to have this kind of a thing. So therefore, everything evolves. And in our society also, 30 years back, if some family would say the lady will go into defense forces, they would shudder to think, oh, how lady will go into defense forces? So this is a process which has gradually grown, that yes, ladies are as good as anybody else is, and they can be equally participating in all the events. So this sense has now dawned upon every family that they are as good, and this is what has gone into our other sectors also. If you take the data 30 years back, we never had that many police officers. We never had that many police personnel from women folk into the police. We never had very movement in other areas like corporate sector. Now the way they are joining our main forces, our main sector, it is a part of that evolution. We are now reaching a stage where we have started getting a feeling that they are as good, as brilliant as we are, and this is what is leading to gradual increase in every sector. This will answer partially the question that General was trying to little hesitant in answering directly. They are going to be there. Then a question on Agniveer, or the new scheme that Government of India has launched. We all should be proud of this. Let me tell you, whether it's a permanent one or not, anybody, I'm saying, any individual in our country who goes through the training and then spends, it was 5 years, then they raised it to 7, 10, now I think it's going to be 14. So those 10 or 14 years then one is going to be spending in whatever capacity in defense. Let me assure you, I can give an affidavit on that, that you will be a far better citizen of our country than anybody else for that matter. So this is what is important. It is not important whether you have a permanent job or not. What is important is that you are a cut above others, and that is what is needed for our society. Once you have that, there is no looking back for a country. And let me also assure you, every corporate sector has assured that once anybody goes through this, would be given preference in all kinds of jobs. This is going to change the scenario of our country. Therefore, don't have any reservations on Agnipatha or Agniveer. It is going to be there. And the most remarkable thing that Indian Army or Defense Forces have done of late is that scheme, I'm forgetting the name, Kranti lady, Veer Nari. Unimaginably brilliant scheme for the better halves of the officers who lose their life in battlefield or elsewhere, and they are being inducted into army. This is the best that could have been done to them. So this way, our society is changing and our defense forces are also changing. And I'm sure in the days to come, you will not have this regretful feeling that why the number is less. Number is growing. Yes, it will grow to the right level in due course of time. That's about it. And things are changing, let me tell you. I'll give you one more data before I wind it up. When we became independent, we used to have about roughly 2,000 deaths per lakh of births that we used to have. That has now gone to, you'll be surprised, less than 100. This is the way our society is evolving. We had 32 years at that time, the life expectancy, now it is 72 years. This is the way things are changing. Therefore, scenario in defense forces also will change. A question is always asked, and General Vikram also said the same, there is a shortage of officers and men in our defense forces. Yes, there is a tremendous shortage, there is no doubt about it. At the officer level, it is about 14,000. And somebody had asked me, one of our students, sir, they have, when they call people for interview, a group of 40, they select only 10, 12. Why don't they select all 40? I want to answer that for the benefit of everybody. See, defense forces will examine very rigorously and they will never compromise on quality. Even if there is a shortage, they will not compromise on a quality that 40 have come, we are shortage of manforce, therefore let's have 30 out of this. They will have all those 4 angles being examined and the best of the lot would be taken. They will never compromise and let's increase the number by 10. It is only in other fronts, in corporate sector, in academics, we say we need 5 teachers, let's have 2 which are not up to the level, we'll manage. That management thing is not there in the army. They believe in the best. That's why our armed forces, our defense forces are rated as the best in the world. There is an academy in England which is called Sandhurst Academy. This used to be rated as #1 training academy in the world, but now I am proud to say that it is NDA which is rated as the best training academy in the world. This is the way we are going up. That is what is to be feeling proud of. And there is no, what OTA used to be OTU earlier on, the way they have come up, now we have a lot more respect for OTA. The way they are churning out the officers, I think it is something to be proud of. So I thought I'll share some of these feelings with you. I am grateful that General Vikram, along with his team of officers and cadets, came here. We tried our best to look after them in the best of the ability that we had in that short span of time. And I'm sure they would have enjoyed this visit of theirs. We look forward to more such visits, more such interactions with your institute, and would continue to interact in a manner that you are served much better in future than what we have done now. Therefore, we'll welcome you again anytime, and we hope for something that you can make best use of from our university. It will be there for asking all the time. Thank you very much. We are grateful to you for providing us an opportunity to serve you. Thank you, please. You can now give this.
So I'll just request you to accept a memento on our behalf, sir.
Many defense mentors in our office. If you don't, that I'm more.
Sir, So we have a small prize distribution also lined up. Can we go ahead with that, please? Sure. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, after such, inspiring words, inspiring is the only word that comes to my mind, and so much of fervor, both from the men in the uniform and the one not in the uniform, but always batting for the forces, our VC sir. As we all know that today, the celebrations for the Independence Day started with a marathon that was for 7.5 kilometers, in which both the students as well as the faculty and non-teaching members of the university had participated, which was co-organized by the Department of Physical Education and the Department of English. And we have winners amongst all of them. 7.5 kilometers in Pondicherry heat is a strenuous activity for people who are not mostly very physically fit and not professionally into the sports. So now I would request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly give away the prizes as I call the winners one by one. Starting with our faculty members, amongst the women category, Dr. Rekha, who is an associate professor in the Department of Library and Information Sciences, got the 3rd spot. Yes, sir. I request Major General Vikram Kumar to do the honors, please. Madam. Please come. The second position holder is Professor Sharda. She has recently joined our university.
Very well done, Sharda.
And the first position was bagged by Dr. G. Porakalai.
I keep doing it. You are also having it.
Now moving on to the category of faculty members amongst the male participants, Dr. Lazar, who is also the finance officer of the university, bagged the 2nd position. I'm afraid sir is not here with us. Yes. So Dr. Praveen is receiving the award on behalf of him.
I was jocularly telling either he was running after the money or money was running after.
And the first position has been bagged by Dr. S. Kannan from the Nanoscience Technology Department. So Dr. Praveen is receiving one more on behalf of our winner. Now coming to the winners amongst the students. As a token of appreciation, the organizers identified winners from amongst the students of the Physical Education Department and from amongst the students of all other departments. So we have two categories for each group of students. So amongst the ladies from the students, the other department winner is Miss Vaishnavi Apte. From amongst the girl students of the Physical Education Department, the 3rd position has been bagged by Miss Leah KV. The 2nd position has been bagged by Miss Iona Eldos. And the winner amongst the girl students of the Physical Education Department is Miss Mridula Mohan. Now amongst the participants from the men's category amongst the students from the other departments, Mr. Basil from the Department of Statistics bagged the second position. Mr. K. Wilson from the Department of Anthropology bagged the second prize. From amongst the men's participants in the students category from the Department of Physical Education, Mr. Sharif KK bagged the second position. Okay, I'm sorry, it's a slip of tongue on my behalf. He is the winner. He bagged the first position. And the second position has been bagged by Mr. Abu Bakr Siddiqui. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all the participants, please, once again. I thank the honorable dignitaries for handing over the prizes. And now I request, yes. Yes. And this program was also graced by the presence of the Dean, School of Humanities. Please, a big round of applause for sir as well. I now request Junior Under Officer Ms. Shivani Singh to propose a vote of thanks for today's event.
Jai Hind to one and all. It is indeed a proud moment for me to be standing here to present a vote of thanks to the Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, Professor Gurmeet Singh. On behalf of Lieutenant General Sanjeev Chauhan, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Yudh Seva Medal, Commandant Officers Training Academy, Chennai, and the entire bicycle team of Officers Training Academy. The expedition rally was flagged off on the morning of 14th August from Officers Training Academy, which culminated at the Gandhi statue, where a ceremonial parade was conducted to honor the contribution of our freedom fighters. Hereafter, the expedition will be flagged off tomorrow morning and will be terminated at the Officers Training Academy, Chennai on 16th of August with a total distance of 375 km. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Pondicherry University for welcoming and accommodating us during our visit. Jai Hind.
I now request all of you to rise for the national anthem, please. जनमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. So when did you do your studies in the